Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you some of my top tips for when it comes to keeping the house clean. I am a busy mum of a 3-year-old and to be honest I'm not perfect, but I have come up with some strategies that really help me keep on top of the housework. I'm going to tell it in a kind of story way. So the first thing that you have to do when it comes to having a tidy house is everything has to have a home or a place where it goes back to. There is no point in trying to clean if nothing has a designated place and you put things back in random places all the time. That is just stressful and it's also how you lose things. I have a place for everything and it's just a really great way because as soon as you use something you just put it back exactly in its place, and I find that I don't find myself like, where is this? I can't find it, because I know that it's in its designated place. Which then leads me to my second tip, which is putting things back after you're finished using them, and that way you're saving yourself a whole cleanup job later of putting everything back in its place. If you finish using something, it's so easy just to walk and put it back in its place than just leave it where it is and like step over it all the time until you finally do put it away. So then my next tip, which is to declutter what you don't use and also declutter areas where they look cluttered. Now that can be tricky. I know for myself that we live in a flat and there's 3 of us living here. We do have 2 bedrooms, but there is 3 of us. We each have our own pile of belongings that we own. We are not minimalists in any way, and we also have our piles of clutter. So what we try and do is anything that we're growing out of, that we don't use anymore, that we've not touched in a long time, we get rid of. And another great way is, if I was to die, would Leo want this? And if not, we tend to get rid of it because there's so many things I was like, oh, but I would like that to keep and blah blah blah, and honestly it was just total junk and I haven't missed it since I got rid of it, so yes. So yeah, decluttering is a really helpful way of just minimizing what you've got and making things feel more clear, more open, more empty, and also leaving things more clean. Then my next tip of just dust as you go along. To be honest, once you've decluttered, you find it so much easier to dust because you're not picking up things to dust around and dusting them. So keeping on top of the dusting gets easier, but as well I recommend that you dust everything from the top and then work your way down so that you don't like start at the bottom and then clean the top bit and then you got dust falling and then you have to do the bottom again. Starting from the top and then making your way down. If you have just come into the bedroom really quickly to show you yet another hack, like they're just coming to me as I'm editing, but that is to fold your clothes in the KonMari way, and I will show you my drawers right now to show you exactly what I mean. This is one of my drawers with the most stuff in it ever, and I can still see every single item in the drawer. T-shirts, my long sleeves and my vest tops all down that side, and then I also have some dresses at the back that I can't hang in my wardrobe due to having no space, but I am planning to have a major clear out of these and just like really, because I don't really wear any of them, they're just things that I keep for the sake of it. So that is my KonMari drawers. I even go as far as to do this with my underwear. So on this side I've got my underwear, and then this side I have my bras and things as well, and then I have some tarot cards down the side because I have some room for them, and this is my doll. Another way to have the house looking clean is to make your beds, but to also make your sofas. A sofa is something that is like a big item in the room, and if it's a bit cluttered or it's messy and the pillows are all squint, it's noticeable. So having your pillows all propped up nicely and any throws that you have folded in a nice way that you like, it just is a great way to make the sofa seem much more clean, neat, tidy, and much more like appealing to the eye. The downfalls we fell into was not doing the dishes straight after eating. If you do this, they build up, and they build up quite quickly. And if you're one of those people that are like, I'm too tired to do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow, then you got 2 days of built up washing up, and then before you know it, you're going to be standing there for 4 hours washing every item that you own because you fell into the trap of using everything you have before you wash anything. And that is just a headache, and it's just hell, and it's not good for the back or the hands. So my tip is to do the washing up as soon as you're finished eating, or obviously give yourself some time to digest it a bit, but We tend to wash up after each meal, morning, lunch and dinner, just to make sure that we're keeping on top of it, and it means that there's no long period of time where we're stood there scrubbing. And the things that we will do is, say if something's quite burnt, we will like soak that and then do that on the next round, so that it's only like 1 or 2 soaking items that need to be cleaned on the next round instead of like a huge pile. But again, with the same kind of line of the scrubbing and everything, I like to spray each surface I intend to clean at the very beginning. So I'll obviously take off what's on the surface. Like say I was cleaning the table, I will remove the things from the table, I will spray it, but then I will go on and do other things like sweep the floor, like whatever, and then I will clean the table, because that lets the spray really sit on the table. It helps just any like stubbornness get off really easily, but it also means that your table is very, very clean because it's given the spray enough time to like kill any bacteria that is on your table. I've got a bit of a story to tell you, but it's a really funny one and you'll love it. When I first moved to London, we were kind of like house sharing, and the shower screen was in the garden, and I'm like, why is the shower screen in the garden? We could really do with that. It will stop the shower from spraying everywhere. And the reason it was in the garden is because the lime scale would build up on it, and they were too lazy and didn't want to bother cleaning it, so they just took it off altogether, which I was like, so anyway, my solution to that is just get a squeegee. So while we're showering, both me and my husband, and Leo has a shot as well, is we'll just, once we've turned the shower off, we'll just squeegee down the shower screen, and also the tiles as well, because they can get little lime scale builds up, and it just saves you so much time. And then you don't really have to clean the shower screen as often, because it doesn't get the lime scale and the builds up, because you like just take it all off straight away. And as well, if you get like a daily shower spray that's like natural, like Method or something like that, or even just a vinegar spray, you can spray it while you're in the shower and just quickly like squeegee it down, and it saves you so much time. It keeps it looking really clean. I just love it. It's a great thing. But not only that, you can use your squeegee for many, many things, from cleaning the windows, if you've got any glass furniture. It's just amazing. It's a very good, quick, clean, streak-free, lovely. I just love it. It's brilliant. So I really do recommend getting yourself one of them. I actually saved myself so much time just doing things as I see them. For instance, if I was putting on my makeup in the mirror and I noticed there was some specks on it or something, or a bit of dust build up, I'd just be like, you know what, while I'm here, I'll just give that a quick clean. And then that often leads me on to doing other things, because if I've used my glass cloth, I'm like, well, I've got it out, I may as well go do something else. And I find myself just going around cleaning all glass items because I've just happened to do something as I've seen it. Of course, you can only do this if you have the time. If you're in a rush and you're heading out to work, of course that's going to be difficult to do. But if you're just really getting ready for anything, just, you know, you're not got a rush, it's really great just to do things as you see them. And I also like the one touch method. So while you've got something in your hand, deal with it there and then instead of putting it down, because then you're going to have to touch it twice by picking it up to deal with it that next time. So while it's, say you've had a cup of tea or you've used a teaspoon, while the teaspoon's in your hand and you finish stirring your tea, go over to the sink, clean it, and then put it back in the drawer. Boom, done. You don't have to deal with that teaspoon later on. In my house, the dining table is a bit of like people's go-to drop-off point, and it can be a bit of a dumping ground. So what I have done is I have collected pine cones from little trips that we have been on throughout lockdown, picked them up, and then I brought them home. I gave them a wash, and I have created a table centerpiece, which basically cost me nothing, and I just used a fruit bowl and displayed it. And since having a table centerpiece, it has somewhat slowed down the dumping ground. It did work for about 2 weeks, but I've noticed it's starting to pick up again, and it's just due to the Easter and like my husband being off, and us really just going on a chill out and not keeping on top of the housework. But usually it works amazingly well to have just a centerpiece or something that makes the area look pretty so that you don't want to dump something on it. I just absolutely love that idea. For cleaning for somebody coming over, for instance, I would start at the very first thing they will see, which is the front door. I will even sometimes like sweep outside my house just so that it's like, boom, it's done. But if I'm like excited about somebody coming over, I'll like go into the hallway and I'll be like, right, what needs done? And often it's dusting, so I'll dust and then I'll hoover, and then I'll move on to the next thing they'll see, which will be either the bathroom or the living room, and then I'll give them a spritz up. So it's really, if you wanted to clean for somebody coming, sometimes I even just like trick myself and tell myself, yep, somebody's coming over. And one of the best ones ones is telling yourself your enemy is coming to your house and you're like, oh my god, they're gonna come and see everything and they're gonna be judgy, and then you like run around like a crazy, I don't know what, Duracell bunny cleaning things. And honestly, it's a little tip, but yeah, act like your worst enemies on their way to your house and watch how you clean. If you can trick your mind that well, I can. If not, I'm sorry, I'm weird. My next one is, if you do have children, encourage them to put toys away before they get the next one out. My son was so bad for this. He would get one thing out and then another and another, and before you knew it, the living room could be a swimming pool of toys. So now when he runs off to go get something else, I call him back and I ask him to put away whatever it is that he has out. Say for example, it's a puzzle. I'll be like, you need to tidy that puzzle up before you bring any more toys in here. And it has been working, and it's also been taking the stress off of me, and it's also been getting him in some good habits as to putting things away, the good habit of everything having a place and keeping things tidy. And he's actually starting to really enjoy tidying up. He's always loved being my little helper, and I just kind of encourage him, being like, you're mummy's little helper, come and help mummy do this, and he loves it. And my last one is to really hoover all in a oneer, so that you're just like going around the entire house with the hoover there and then. So before you do that, just run around, have like a pick up, put everything down kind of thing, so everything's up and off the floor. Hoover like you've never hoovered before, and then mop. So I always leave the hoovering to last, because by then the dust will have settled from dusting, and anything that I've like cleaned off the table will be on the floor, and then all of the toys will be up and back in their place, and then boom, I can hoover, and then I get the mop out, and then I'm done, and the house is smelling great, and it's all clean, and boom, yes. That is my tips for how to have a tidy home. If there's any that I didn't include in this video, please do let me know your tips on how you keep your house nice, clean and tidy. But I also wanted to say that there's no pressure on you to have a tidy house. All a tidy house shows is that you spend a lot of time cleaning. It doesn't really mean anything. I would much rather be spending time with Leo than spending my entire life cleaning my house. So I basically do the bare minimum to have a nice clean house, but also have a lot of time with my child. That's it for this video. So if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. I would love to have you, and I will see you all in my next one. Take care guys, bye.